Well, it is no surprise that the COVID-19 pandemic has had a negative impact on the economy, and there's a lot of uncertainty as some are out of work, struggling to pay bills. So we're bringing in Marshall Jones from Caddell Reynolds to talk about rebounding from the financial crisis. Hey, Marshall.
Hi, Marshall. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's just jump right in and talk about how has the pandemic impacted people financially?
Well, I mean, it's really no surprise that there's been a negative economic impact across the country. People are out of work, struggling to pay bills in general, and it's just an uncertain time that we're living in right now. For people who are able to work remotely, it's a blessing, but many people are not able to do that. And there's been mass shutdowns, stay-at-home orders, and it's just been devastating. Millions of people have lost their jobs and, are temporarily out of business or temporarily out of work. And there's plenty of businesses that have been forced to shut down. So it's just been a difficult time across the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And we're right around the corner from back to school. Some kiddos here in NWA in the River Valley, if they're in private school, they're already back in school. So that's an even added layer of the pandemic impacting families.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
So talk about what are some tips that people can use to kind of get them over this financial crisis?
Well, some of the biggest tips that I could recommend to people is building an emergency fund. You never really know when something like this is going to happen, and having 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses and budgets built up, ready to go when something like this happens. That's probably the best case and best advice I could give you is just to work on that emergency fund. Otherwise, financial resources at hand right now, unemployment is still available. Even though there's no stimulus bonus, you can still apply for unemployment benefits, small business loans, the PPP program that is up right now, and then other resources like SNAP benefits, things like that. Those are the best ways.
Sure. And I know some people, sometimes the word bankruptcy is kind of a scary term, but it doesn't necessarily have a negative meaning. Talk to us about that, Marshall.
So yeah, that's bankruptcy does have a very bad connotation and a stigma around it, but it's not, and it shouldn't. Quite frankly, bankruptcy is someone taking control of the situation before it puts them underwater. The best way that I can describe it is it's a strategic decision that's going to let you be in control of the ship. And I don't know why I've got so many nautical references, but you're in control of the ship, and together we're going to get you to Discharge Island. That's what I tell people.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good tip. It's a good way to think about it.
Absolutely. Marshall, what are you telling your clients as they're trying to kind of wade their way through everything that's going on?
Well, I kind of just tell people, hey, look, this is a difficult time, but this is temporary. If you come to us and we're going to help you with the bankruptcy, eventually, you're going to be in a situation that you're better off in than when you started and when you first came to see us. Most people, when they come in, they're downtrodden in the sense that they're behind on payments, their credit score is low, but within a year after filing, usually your credit score is up about 50 to 100 points, where we're putting you back on track. We're delaying all those collection agencies coming after you. We're doing our best to make sure that, again, you're the one who's in control of the situation so that you're not just getting relentless calls. I would just say to clients, take a deep breath. We're going to get through this together, and this isn't something that's going to ruin you. This isn't going to put you in destitution. Bankruptcy is just, like I said, a way to get control of the reins and to guide us where we need to go.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely. And what I heard you say was, the first step is the hardest for a lot of people. So reaching out and asking for help sometimes is difficult. But with professionals like yourself in the industry, you're here to help. So we appreciate that.
Thanks. I like to think I'm here to help too.
Yeah. Marshall, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff. Great stuff.
For sure.